What's up, guys? It's Mr. R here, and a while back I made a Yakuza video titled Yakuza Where's the Best. At that time I didn't finish Kiwami 1 or 2, and I was like, is it really worth my time? And now that I've played both Kiwami 1 and 2, I think it is worth your time, especially for gameplay reasons, but for story reasons I definitely think Yakuza Kiwami 1 and 2, you have to play both of them. Like, there's no playing just Kiwami 1 or just Kiwami 2. Like, you pretty much have to play both of them. But I'm actually here with another Yakuza video. Your first time getting to the series, these are the games I think you should play in order, and I'm gonna try and be as less spoiler as possible, because the Yakuza games are like crime dramas, and there's lots of different, twists and turns and stuff like that. So first thing, you should play Yakuza Zero. Now, personally, I am not a big fan of Yakuza Zero. Yeah, it's gonna drive some people nuts, me saying this. I am not a big fan of Yakuza Zero. Yakuza Zero is overrated, and like, it ain't it. Like, in my opinion, it ain't it. The combat's good. It's the first implementation of the 3 different fighting style system. It's really nice. It's good. You get to play as Majima. Like I said, this is going to be as spoilerless as possible, but Majima is a really big character within the Yakuza series, and you basically get to see how he turns into a badass, the mad dog of the Tojo clan. Like, you get to see this unfold at the end of Yakuza Zero, but you get to see why he's changed and how he's changed. So Yakuza Zero, definitely start with Yakuza Zero, basically for story preferences, right? I think after you play Yakuza Zero, you should play Yakuza 3, and I'm talking about the Yakuza Remastered collection. If you can get the collection, start with Yakuza 3 Remastered. And the reason why I say that, you get to experience what life is like for Kiryu being the 4th chairman of the Tojo clan. The life of Kiryu now that he's like, I'm done being a Yakuza, but he ends up being dragged back into it. You meet his friend Daigo Dojima, and you don't really know who Daigo is. You get to learn who he is later on, and when you play Kiwami, you figure out who Daigo is. But you meet Daigo, and you're like, you have a lot of respect for this guy. Kiryu has respect for this guy, so automatically you have respect for this guy. You see Kiryu is taking care of an orphanage now. He's like, I'm done being a Yakuza. I don't want none of that. But he ends up getting dragged back into that life. And by the end of Yakuza 3, it literally wraps up like, okay, we're done. Like, Kiryu is happy. Everything's back to normal now. But of course, we got like 3 more games after this. So obviously stuff keeps going wrong, right? So after Yakuza 3, you're literally like, man, this is really awesome. Now, after you play Yakuza 3, this is when I say you go back and you play Kiwami 1 and you play Kiwami 2. This is when you meet Haruka, right? And in Yakuza 3, you're going to see Haruka. You're going to see the entire orphanage, and you're going to be like, okay, Haruka, she's pretty much like the oldest. She runs the place when Kiryu's not around. And you pretty much, I fell in love with the children in Yakuza 3. A lot of the fan base don't like the children in Yakuza 3. They've been playing these games since PS2, so I understand why they don't like it. But for you and me, you're probably gonna love the children because you're gonna have access to these games like back to back to back. So Yakuza 0, Yakuza 3, Kiwami 1, Kiwami 2. After that, you literally you can go in order. You can go 4, 5, 6, and then Like a Dragon 7, the latest installment. And then at the end of that, then you play Judgment. That's literally it. Now, this is gonna be a second part to this video. This is gonna be another ranking from my least favorite to favorite, from worst to the best. I'm redoing it right now in this video. Yakuza, worst to best. I'm not gonna spoil it, because this is still another video, but I might spoil some stuff. So if you just came here to figure out what games you should play, stop right now in the video, hit the like, subscribe, and comment. I literally told you Yakuza 0, Yakuza 3, Kiwami 1, 2, and then 4, 5, 6, 7, and then Judgment. There you go. You don't gotta play Dead Souls. You don't gotta play the traditional Japanese for the story. You don't gotta play like the traditional Ryu Goka, whatever. You don't gotta play any of that. But for the main story, here it is. But this is my least favorite to favorite games list. I'm gonna say why, but I'm gonna try and not spoil it just in case you decided to stick around. But my least favorite is gonna go to Yakuza 5. Yakuza 5 story-wise, it was all right. I really felt like it was unnecessary to bring back Saejima. I feel like his story was literally done. Like, they had Saejima, they wrapped up his story in Yakuza 4. I thought it was really good, and then they brought him back. They took him out of jail again. I just thought it was really unnecessary. I did enjoy the Haruka dance stuff. Like, it's literally different. It's a whole different game mode, and you get to see Haruka like, she's an adult now. Well, she's still a teenager, but she's an adult. She's growing up. She's living her life. So, besides that, I feel like it was just unnecessary. Kiryu comes back, and you see all this stuff. Like, I just feel like Yakuza 5, it was just unnecessary. I feel like they could have changed the story up and it would have been a lot different. I feel like they pulled a lot of stuff out of their ass for Yakuza 5, but that's just my opinion for it. So Yakuza 5, my least favorite. After that, honestly, a lot of people are gonna be upset, but I'm gonna say Yakuza 0. Now, Yakuza 0 was fun. Gameplay wise, it was fun. I love Majima's story, but I didn't like constantly going against Kuze. Okay, I thought it was unnecessary. And I also feel like, Kiryu becoming the Dragon of Dojima, it was very, whatever I say is gonna piss somebody off. But I don't think it was, I wasn't expecting him to become the Dragon of Dojima that way. I thought he was gonna earn the Dragon of Dojima by doing something like ridiculously crazy for the Tojo clan. All he did was beat the former Dragon of Dojima, and he took the name the Dragon of Dojima, which was surprising that he got it at such a young age. Like, the dude in this game is he's like in his early 20s or mid 20s, and he becomes the Dragon of Dojima. Like, I feel like you don't earn that name until like right before he becomes the 4th chairman. Like, I feel like if Kiryu became the Dragon of Dojima around the same time he became the Tojo's clan 4th chairman, that would have been amazing. But Yakuza 0, I'm just gonna put it, for story wise, I'm gonna put it right next to Yakuza 5. After that, I don't really have much issues with the series story wise besides Kiwami 2. Kiwami 2 story, I didn't like it. I like Kiwami 1 story way more than I like Kiwami 2. Like, Kiwami 1, you meet Haruka and you figure out who her mother is and stuff like that, and I loved it. It was amazing, right? But Kiwami 2, like, and then Kiwami 1, you get Nishiki, and you figure out why he's doing the stuff that he's doing, and you can see it in the flashbacks. On top of that, you see Nishiki is constantly getting treated like shit from the Tojo clan. They keep comparing him to Kiryu, and it's like, eventually he gets to that breaking point. He's like, okay, you guys miss Kiryu so much, I'm gonna show you somebody better than Kiryu. I'm gonna be better than Kiryu. So I love it. I love it. So Kiwami 1, amazing. Story wise, it wraps up stuff from 0. I love it. But Kiwami 2, that's what I'm gonna put right after Yakuza 0 story wise. I don't really like the whole, the leader of the Omi Alliance is just a figurehead, and then his son, who is supposedly not his son, I don't know. He was like, oh, I'm not his son, but he calls me his son. He comes in and he's like, I'm gonna reform the Omi Alliance. I'm gonna fucking take over the Tojo, and I'm gonna be the leader of the Tojo and the Omi. There's only room for one dragon. I'm not just the dragon of whatever the fuck. I'm not just the dragon of that, and there can only be one dragon. I'm gonna show you who the dragon is. Like, and then at the end, he's like, oh yeah, oh, you know, I'm not gonna, like I said, I'm trying not to spoil, but he's like, you know, my sister, you know, leave because we're gonna do this battle. And there's a lot of stuff going on in like literally like the last hour, like when they get to Millennium Tower, which I like, not Millennium Tower, but Majima's Tower. Majima's Tower. Okay, he created his own fucking tower, dude. And it's crazy because it's still there in Judgment. It's built up. It's a fort. It's fucking phenomenal. Like, Majima's story in Kiwami 2 literally like saves it from being below zero, because just Majima alone and his conquest of him doing his own thing, and then you get the prequel after you beat the game, and you can go back and you can play Majima's story, and he's like, you know what? Like, he solves a murder. I'm not gonna say a murder of who or how, whatever, but he solves a murder, and he's like, you know what? He goes to the Omi Alliance, and he's like, to own up to it, I'm disbanding the Majima group. And then the Omi guys, you know, that are behind the scenes, they're like, oh, you think that's enough? And Majima snaps. He's like, if I say we're fucking done, we're fucking done. Okay? You got a problem? No problems? Okay, then I'm done. And I feel like he did that because he's like, man, fuck all this. You know, everybody's snakes and this stuff. You know, I'm gonna do my own thing. And he goes to go play some baseball, and then he's like, you know what? You know, let's go do this. And then he meets Hyros, and you know, it's awesome. I love that part of Kiwami 2, you know, Majima's story and Kiwami 2. And then he gets his you know, he gets his farewell arc from Yakuza 0. You know, he goes back, and you see the Mad Dog isn't that mad. It's kind of like he's putting on a front, but at the same time, like, he lives that front. So it's awesome. Like, Majima saves Kiwami 2. I'm telling you, he carries that shit. He carries that shit. But Kiwami 2, I'm gonna put that right next, right above Yakuza 0. And then after that, really, I think they're fine. You can say Yakuza 4 was pretty bad with the whole rubber bullets thing. Literally, after Yakuza, like during Yakuza 4, after Yakuza 4, that's when I realized, don't think anybody is dead unless you see them get killed. And I'm not talking, you see the camera on the person that's pulling the trigger and they pull the trigger. No, unless you see the corpse, do not think anybody is dead in Yakuza unless you see the corpse. And even then, people come back. It's like, what the fuck? And, you know, I'm not gonna spoil it, but people come back, and it's like, it's not the same person, but it's the same person. Y'all know who I'm talking about. But you know, immortality, right? Immortality. But like I said, it's crazy. I like Yakuza 4 because, you know, that's when we meet Akiyama-san, and you know, you get Akiyama's whole story arc of how he was poor, and then you see how he became rich, and him becoming rich was because of Kiwami 1, and that shocked me. Like, because I played like 3, 4, 5, and I'm like, okay, Millennium Tower blew up, and then now there's money everywhere. But then you see in Kiwami 1 how it blew up and where all this fucking money came from. And like the whole time you're playing Kiwami 1, you're not really thinking about it. And then, you know, stuff happens, and then you see money falling from the sky, and you're like, holy shit. Right? And then you're like, holy shit, dude, Yakuza 4, holy shit, dude. Akiyama's down there, he's gonna become rich, and he's gonna create Sky Finance, and then like all that stuff was turning in my head while Kiwami 1 was wrapping up. I was like, holy shit, dude, Yakuza 4, holy shit. Like, I love Yakuza 4, but you know, story-wise, people are gonna be like, oh man, the rubber bullet stuff. Like, the rubber bullet, Yakuza 4 story is centered around police corruption and rubber bullets. And literally, rubber bullets, it feels like that's something they just found out about. Like, literally, the devs at Ryu. I don't know the studio name. I can't pronounce her name, but it seems like they just found out about rubber bullets last fucking week before they came up with Yakuza 4, and they were like, dude, we could put rubber bullets everywhere. And then when people think people get killed off, they're not really killed off. Oh shit, dude. Oh, rubber bullets. Like it seems like they literally figured out what rubber bullets are the week before creating this fucking game. And literally it kind of shows. Now, I don't think it's bad. I think it's fucking cheesy. But I don't think it's bad. But there's other people that are like, man, rubber bullets fucking ruin Yakuza 4. But you meet so many good characters. You meet Sajima, and you like, honestly, Sajima, I enjoyed his arc, but the reason why I didn't enjoy it in 5 is because it was so well wrapped up in Yakuza 4. Like, Sajima's in jail for some stuff, and you figure out some stuff. Like I'm saying, I'm not trying to spoil it, but you figure out some stuff, and then he goes out, he busts out of jail, does what he has to do, and then he's like, okay, I'm done. I did what I had to do. I'm ready to go back to jail. He goes back to jail, and you're like, all right, he's done. He's done with his story. And then they come back with 5, and they bring out some more shit to bust him out of jail again. And they're like, oh man, dude, he was all good. He was wrapped up, ready to go. He was done. And they were like, let's bring him back. Why not? But Akiyama, his story is really good. And I like how they keep using him for further Yakuzas, because Akiyama's gameplay is fucking amazing. His Taekwondo, amazing, fantastic. The way his heat actions work are fucking awesome. He has some of the best heat actions until I played Judgment, and I was like, dude, these heat actions blow that shit out the water, dude. But Yakuza 4, I'm just gonna go ahead and put it next. Like, this is where the games are good. Like, story-wise, I personally think they're all good from now. So Yakuza 4, go ahead and put that there. That's good. And then next off, story-wise, honestly, it's hard for me personally picking between Yakuza 3 or Yakuza Like a Dragon. Yakuza Like a Dragon, the reason why I have issues with it is because we meet this new character, Ichiban. We meet all these other new characters, Adachi, all these other characters. We meet all these other characters, and we have to wrap up their story all within this span of like, what, 20 something hours? Like, bruh. And then on top of that, they bring back old characters. You know, they bring back Majima, they bring back Kiryu, they bring back Sajima, they bring back Daigo, they bring back all these fucking characters, man. Just like, I guess fan service. Honestly, I think it's for fan service. But then they have their own arc, and it feels like it's rushing so fucking fast. I feel like Yakuza 7 or Yakuza Like a Dragon, because they didn't want to call it 7 in the West because people would have went crazy because it's a whole different game genre. But Yakuza 7 feels like it should have been 2 games. It should have been 2 games. I feel like it should have just been a part 1 and a part 2, you know, Yakuza 7 part 1, and then later on we get Yakuza 7 part 2, and then fill in the extra stuff, because everything has to be wrapped up so fast, man, and it's just so, it just doesn't make sense. It's not good. Personally, I honestly, Yakuza 7, the story is good, but it's rushed, and it's rushed because they decided to add stuff that didn't need to be added onto. And then they bring a lot of questions than they have really answers for. So it's like, bruh, there's so much shit going on in Yakuza 7. But at the end of the day, the ending was fucking fantastic. The acting was amazing. Like, the final cutscene, if you play Yakuza 7, the final cutscene where everything started taking place with the baby and the lockers, like, bruh, if you haven't played Yakuza 7, you have to. Because it's so fucking good. Like, not the ending, but like the 10 minutes before the ending, where Ichiban is laying his fucking heart out, and he's like, yo, we did all this shit for you, we did all this for you, and you can't see it. And then it's like, it feels like, oh, it's gonna wrap up good, you know, he's gonna atone for his sins, and then something fucking happens, and you're just like, bro, what the fuck? And then the person that does it, you're just like, what the fuck? Like, yeah, he was in the game, but it feels like he wasn't important. And then he does this important shit at the end, and it just makes you go, what the fuck? You literally have the Jackie Chan meme, like, what the fuck? Like, ugh. Like, I have a love-hate with Yakuza 7. At the end of the day, Yakuza 7, like, combat-wise, story-wise, it's decent. The combat, I loved it. The turn-based is really good. It's a really good RPG game. Really good. The story's good, but it was too fucking fast. It was too fucking fast. So that's why I'm gonna go ahead and, you know, after I just did a rant on Yakuza 7, I'm gonna put Yakuza 7 story right next, right above Yakuza 4's. And then I'm gonna put Yakuza 3's, because Yakuza 3, it wraps up. It's like, oh man, happy ending, good to go. But then more shit happens on. So you're like, oh fuck, okay, like Kiryu, you're not done. This is not a happy ending. This is just a break, you know? So then I'm gonna put Yakuza 3. And then the final game at the top, Yakuza 6, Song of Life. Amazing. I loved it. The ending was so fucking bittersweet. It was so fucking bittersweet. I loved it. And the whole story throughout Song of Life, figuring out who this kid is, trying to find the baby daddy, and you figure out who the baby daddy is, or you thought you figured out who the baby daddy is, and then, oh, dude, it's so good. Yakuza 6, and then the engine that they used, the Dragon engine, I hear that's like an incomplete version, but I still liked it. I really enjoyed it. I enjoyed having the RPG mechanics of, oh, you know, every time you go through a fight, you have a hunger gauge. Go get something to eat, and you get to level up your points, and then you can level up your stats real quick. Like, it's quicker progression towards the end game is what I really enjoyed about the engine. And that's what I liked about Kiwami too, because it was the same engine. I was like, yo, they brought back this engine. So, and the Judgment engine is like kind of like that, but it's less RPG-ish. Like, there's no real point in going to eat and stuff like that. Like, you eat and then like you can get a star to level up. But Yakuza 6, I fucking love it, and I think it's really, like, I'm telling you, the ending is bitter fucking sweet. Like, it is a good ending, and at the same time, you're like, what the fuck, man? Like, Kiryu just can't be happy, man. He just cannot be fucking happy. But it's not a terrible ending. It's really, really good. Like I said, bittersweet ending, but it is a very good bow on a cake that's layered in crime, gang drama, corruption, greed. Like, it's so good. The Yakuza series, by far amazing, and I love how I'm so late to the party. I can enjoy them back to back, which did tire me out a bit. I'm not gonna lie, I was getting tired after Yakuza 4. So that's probably why I hated Yakuza 5 so much. Not really hate, but I was like, come on, man. Like, Yakuza 5, come on. Like, it's good. You know, Kiryu versus 100 men of the Tojo clan. You know, that's a fucking amazing fight scene that I still remember. The final boss is kind of fun too. But I'm telling you, like, the Yakuza series, it's good. So, if you stayed from the beginning and you saw this video all the way to the end, you know, like I said, I didn't want to spoil a lot, but I hope you guys enjoyed. Enjoy the Yakuza series. It is really, really good. Like a Dragon came out not too long ago. The Judgment remake came out, what, like 2 days ago? Not remake, but ported to PS5. It's really good. I'm enjoying Judgment. But yeah, it's gonna be bittersweet when I finish Judgment, because it's like there's no more Yakuza. And that's everything. I hope you guys enjoyed, man. I really love making this video. I love talking about it. So I hope you guys enjoy. Comment, rate, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace out.